Enjoy reading the story on Manga Funny channel.
In the previous episode, Lillian and Rothy successfully pulled out the sword in her own clever way, but Edward unexpectedly appeared. Let's continue the story from here. Why is Edward here? Edward said, "What are you doing now? And what's with this creepy thing?" Then he struck Rothy hard, sending it flying away, crashing against the rock. "Rothy, what are you doing?" Edward said, "Why? Rothy, hold on, stay right there. Since when have you been parasitizing Lillian's body?" Edward pointed his sword at me, demanding an explanation of the truth. What? What are you talking about? Wait, does he realize who I really am? Edward said, "I thought it was strange with that odd title you used for me earlier. No doubt you must think she got distracted and ended up being taken over by some dumb spirit monster as brainless as you." Huh? A spirit monster all of a sudden? Does Edward actually think that Lillian, who is me, got possessed by a spirit monster? Even though I'm not the kind of monster Edward thinks, it's not strange if he misunderstood it this way. Who would imagine that Lillian regained her memories from a past life and changed so drastically? I only acted a little differently from my usual self for less than a day, and he already suspects possession by someone else. He's not only monstrously strong but also absurdly perceptive. Stop overanalyzing everything. You're just annoyed because I drew the sword using Rothy, aren't you? Is that ugly thing Rothy? No, listen to me, Edward said. Whatever it is, I don't see any reason to deal with a monster any longer. And would he even understand if I tried explaining in scientific terms? Edward raised his sword, preparing to attack. Am I just going to accept this? Am I really gonna die like this? At that moment, Eden ran in, quickly kicking the sword out of Edward's hand, sending it flying. Eden said, "Hey, are you okay? Snap out of it." Eden, why are you here? I told you to stay in the room. Eden said, "That's not the issue right now. Why are you just letting him do that to you? I'm not as strong as my brother." Edward said, "Who's this annoying brat now?" "Oh no, I forgot Edward was still here." Eden said, "Who's annoying now? Hey, stop. That's not it." Eden said, "I can take on someone like you anytime, Eden." Eden, what are you doing? Eden? Edward said, "You're really going all out, aren't you?" Stop. Don't touch Eden. Are you really willing to risk your life for a noble girl like her? She wouldn't even blink if you died in her place, you know? She's a noble who lives in a splendid castle. Shut up. She's different from someone miserable and dirty like you. Shut up. You, a piece of trash, dare? Shut up. I said shut up. My first memory was of the color red. The next sound I heard was the screams and cries of despair from people being devoured by monsters. I don't remember how I survived in that kind of environment. What's this? Did this brat consume the monster? After being hunted by monsters and eating their corpses out of hunger, I was pelted wherever I went, branded a cursed child. And look, there, the cursed monster. On days I wasn't being hunted by monsters, people would chase me away. It's a bad omen. Go away and die far from here. Everywhere felt like hell, but honestly, worse than the monsters or the people, were the voices whispering to me everywhere I went. Dreaming of a future was a luxury for someone like me. I lived like that my whole life. When you grow up, you should repay me, right? You're destined for greatness, aren't you? I'll get you out of this castle. Not to the slums, nor to our castle, but somewhere you don't have to run from monsters. Are you really believing those empty words? There's no way such a place exists. Shut up. And even if a place like that did exist, what would be the point? Eden. No matter how much you struggle, you'll never escape from us. Eden shouted. I said, shut up. Eden. The voices went quiet. Why are you suddenly dazed? Are you feeling unwell? I'll hold him off here, so go back to my room. Edward said, two pieces of trash causing all this nonsense one after another. Trash? Don't call Eden trash like that. Neither Eden nor I are some monster or trash. No one has the right to call us that. Edward said, "Are you really going to keep denying that you're a monster? Fine, then what you're saying is that my incapable, troublemaking little sister somehow managed to pass the test that even Lawrence failed, and she did it using her brain. Fine, then prove one last thing. Show me red human blood, not blue monster blood. Then I'll truly believe you." "You're crazy. You're asking for blood, aren't you? It's over. No matter what, Edward plans to hurt me." Just then, Eloise appeared out of nowhere, surprising everyone. Eloise said, "What's going on here, everyone?" "Sister, why did you come here?" Eloise said, "Why? I wanted to cheer you on for the annual test. I must have overslept because I wasn't feeling well. The test is over, right? But, Lillian, is that friend you're holding the same one as before?" She quickly hid him as soon as she heard the voice. Edward said, "Lillian, hand him over." "Oh, come on. Stop paying attention to my doll. Just like twins. He's mine. Neither sister nor brother can be interested in him. Only I can be interested in him. Got it?" "Perfect. Now that sister's here to distract him, let's run away." Edward said, "I told you to hand him over, didn't I?" "Darn it. He's serious." Edward said, "So I'll let the spirit monster part slide. His murderous intent is freezing me in place. But keeping some unknown thing by your side, what'll you do if it carries some germs? Your body is ultimately meant to be absorbed by me, so it would be troublesome if you handled it recklessly. Drums? Not only does he treat me like a monster, but now he's calling Eden a germ? I don't know why Edward is so fixated on Eden, but one thing's for sure. There's no way we can have a proper conversation right now. No. Eden is mine. If you keep acting so stubbornly, come back, Rothy. I won't go down without a fight." When Edward kicked Rothy earlier, it happened to fly off and lodge into a rock. I still haven't lifted the command not to release my grip, even if the device gets damaged. And right now, the rock, Edward, and I are all in a straight line. "What are you doing?" "So if I summon Rothy right now, strike." It's a hit! Rothy possesses a monstrous strength, able to lift a rock 1,000,000 times its size, and the rock crashed against Edward's head, sending him sprawling to the ground. In the previous episode, Lillian, Edward, and Eden encountered each other at the training school, and Eloise unexpectedly showed up. Let's continue the story from here. Bullseye. Rothy possesses immense strength, able to lift a rock millions of times its own weight. The rock flew and struck Eden on the head, causing him to fall to the ground. This left Edward momentarily stunned, confused about what was happening. Chich. Even in that split second, he managed to shield himself with aura. It seems he's not someone to take lightly. Anyway, since I succeeded, let's take this chance to escape. Hey, let go of me. Hold still. First, we need to get out of here. I hurriedly pulled Eden away from the area to avoid him coming face to face with Eloise. What is this? Who would at such a critical moment? Wait, what's this? A shard of magic. Did I unconsciously channel magic into Rossi? The shard's so faint that even I barely noticed it. Let's just hope Edward didn't pick up on it. At that moment, Giretto arrived, saying, "You'll need to come with me. The Duke has summoned you." "My father? He's calling for me?" "Right now?" he replied. "Yes, that's correct. A private audience with father." Before, I would have been terrified and tried to avoid it at all costs. Thank you for calling on me, father, and my soon-to-be financial backer. Perfect timing to escape. Plus, this is my chance to show him Rossi. I'll get recognized as a magical engineer and secure funding for my projects. Eden, could you wait quietly outside the door until I finish meeting father? Eden said, "Mind your own business. You summoned me, father. I assumed you'd call me to the study or office." Upon arrival, my father was already seated, waiting for me. He said, "You've arrived, Lillian Sergeyevna? In the bathroom of all places? I heard you pulled out the silver sword." "Ah, Yes. He said, "You've already received the report. So, how should I interpret the situation where you concede immediately in front of me, but then go off and pull out the silver sword in secret?" The pressure is intense. It's fine. Don't be nervous. I just finished verifying Rossi's capabilities, so all I have to do is properly present my own skills to Father. I thought I could pull out the silver sword in my own way. But I wasn't sure if the test allowed any type of force, or if it was strictly limited to physical force. So I quietly conducted a test myself. It was all thanks to Rossi's help. This is my first project in magical engineering. With something like that, how dull, Lillian. It may not seem believable at first glance, but it's entirely possible if you use natural laws. Rossi is designed to extend and contract based on my commands. If you calculate the ratio between the distance of the force point and the fulcrum, and the distance between the action point and the fulcrum. A series of mathematical formulas I gave that my father might not even know. I excelled in math in my previous life. These formulas are as easy as candy to me. The value of the potential energy. I got excited again, talking about things no one asked about. Anyway, because of this study, blah blah blah, and then. But that's not the point. The important thing is that pulling out the silver sword with Rossi is only the beginning. I'm going to become the top authority in magical engineering. Even if I lack talent in swordsmanship, I will prove that I can be an asset to the family. Tools are nothing more than the cowardly means of weak losers. Are you saying you're willing to stake your life on such worthless things? I have no talent in swordsmanship. No matter how much I train, I'll never be able to reach even Edward's level, let alone Lawrence's. So, I want to use whatever tools I can and carve my own path. I don't want to fight a hopeless battle. Even if everyone scorns me as a loser, it's better than dying a meaningless death. Pathetic as ever. I guess it was too much to expect my father's understanding and support. Well, he did become the head of the Sergevna family with monstrous talent in swordsmanship from birth, and has protected the empire with that strength alone his whole life. But, Father, times are changing, and someday the winds of transformation will blow through magical engineering. When that time comes, those who can't adapt to tools will be the losers. I can guarantee that. It wasn't through official channels, but I'll consider it as passing the test for now. And you'll receive the reward according to the rules. Giretto, give the lady 100 gold coins. Success! With 100 gold coins, I can definitely continue my research. Wait a moment, Father. The dead dragon. Could I perhaps receive the heart of the dead dragon that you hunted? Oh, was that too much to ask? He won't cancel the 100 gold coins he was going to give me, right? But the dead dragon's heart is an incredible power source. If I could use it as Rossi's power source. Giretto, hand over the heart to the young lady. This surprised Giretto as well, making him ask for confirmation multiple times. Oh, success! Thank you, Father. With this, I can upgrade Rossi. Thankful, well, we'll see. A reward that you cannot handle can be a punishment, so before I hand it over to you, I'll test whether you're worthy of it. What? A test? My father said, Giretto, open the box. Giretto responded, yes, master. I realized it was Shin Yuna, my aunt. I remembered how she used to scold me, saying, shut up. Learning how to talk back so young, goodness, you're so hard to love. Even my old colleagues didn't like me much. Shin Yuna? She probably thinks we're not worth talking to because she's so high level. Let it be. She's living with her relatives, right? If she doesn't get a scholarship, she can't go to college, so she studies as if her life depends on it. It's okay. I'm not bothered. I'm used to being alone. I don't need anyone's affection. The Demon Lord's Companion program from now on. My father called me Lillian Sergevnev. I snapped back to reality, my eyes now brimming with tears, which left him completely bewildered.